Good morning. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. I'm Tina Jennings. Now that we're getting back to a normal week, it is time to focus again on Medicare open enrollment and the fact that the deadline is a little over a week away. I know a lot of you at home have that stack of mail that you've received with all the information, and you're kind of looking at it, dreading diving into it to see which option is right for you. So let's help you with that. Colleen Gimbel with Berwick Insurance is here. Colleen, that big stack of mail that we just keep kind of putting it on top of each other and we're like, we'll get to it eventually. Why do we get all of that mail?
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. I'm not even sure that people who aren't 65 even have any idea how big it is. And we're talking grocery bags full of mail from everybody in the world that wants to help them with the Medicare plan, including the government and the carriers and agents and anybody and everybody who wants to have some input with a client. And so I think it's just too much. I mean, for every person I talk to says, you know, I don't want to look through all that. I want someone to tell me, a professional to tell me what is the best scenario. And I talked last time I was here about how you find out. You know, a good agent does a really nice needs analysis. They figure out what everybody needs for their person, because insurance is so different for every single person. So, so that's really a nightmare. But it comes from everybody, and there's stuff in there you have to read from the government, but you can't find it because it's through everything else. So, working with someone who works as an insurance agent, is a professional in this business, you know, is really it's like, you know, like doing your own taxes. You know, if you've got a complicated tax plan, you don't want to do it yourself. You want to go to somebody who knows what they're doing.
And I'm sure that's one of the main reasons why trying to pick a plan is so difficult, is because all the excess information that we don't need.
Right. You have to understand what it is that you're looking for. And I think that's where an insurance professional comes in, and someone who knows the marketplace and knows what the plans are and can represent a variety of plans. That's really, I think, the key to making sure you have the best plan for you. And it does change every year, so it's always good to check it out.
And then, of course, I just said at the top that deadline is also creeping up, which also kind of gives you extra anxiety that we know we have that December 7th deadline coming closer and closer. So if somebody hasn't had a chance to either go through that information or have somebody help them, or they're still just kind of at square one this close to the deadline, what do you recommend to them?
So a lot of people waited till after the election, and that's really common. And then, you know, we're into Thanksgiving, and now all of a sudden it's 10 days until December 7th. Have them call us, and if they're listening, or even if it's, like I said before, if it's your parents and you're not sure if they got their insurance checked out, call us, and we can make a phone call to them. They can call us directly, or you know, come in. There's a lot of different ways for us to help them. And just if they've got questions, you know, we're happy to answer those. But it is not too late. We can actually submit changes to Medicare plans until midnight, December 7th. And then after that, if you didn't do it, you can't change it again until certain kinds of plans you can, certain kinds of plans you can't, but it's too complicated to get in. But if you're on the kinds of plans you can't change, then you're with it for all of next year. So you want to make sure that, you know, you've got the right stuff.
That's
the right doctors, the right hospitals, all those things too.
But that's another question to ask. Am I on a plan that I can't? You know, it's just so many things you don't think of along the way. And you know, right now, like you said, we're receiving information from so many people. Now, what you do, what Berwick Insurance does, is there other people that do it, or what sets you apart from other places that kind of are saying the same thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do this around the country, and I think what is not known about Berwick is that we are a national organization. So we work with over 3,500 agents in every state in the country, around the country. And that sort of global or national perspective gives us experience in this industry that not everybody has. And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart. Of course, we're rooted and founded and hosted here. You know, this is where we live, and we know this market very, very well. But because we are so big nationally, with all the carriers and things like that, people, we get a different perspective. And so we can, winter visitors, we've never talked about that. You know, winter visitors come, and then they go back home, or there might be somebody watching your program of yours that have a parent who lives in Michigan, or, you know, something like that. So we really can help anybody in any state in the country. The other thing that we offer is technology. So if someone is too busy to come to the office, or maybe they're not able or they don't want to come to the office, and then they really don't like people to come to their homes, I mean, it's up to them. We can do either. We have the technology where as long as you have a computer and they have an email, we can do an appointment over the phone, and you still get the benefit of having an agent who knows you. Because if you call an 800 number, you're just calling an 800 number, and if you have a question, yes, they can help you and they do a great job, but you call back an 800 number, you get somebody else. It's not your agent. And if you have an agent, and I really encourage people to get an agent and work with that person, because health insurance, they get to know you, they know who your doctors are, and and what you need, and yes, they can kind of go through your life with you. And we use more insurance after the age of 65 than we do before, typically. So it's a really good thing to have an agent. But now, because of the technology Berwick is invested in, you don't have to come in, and we don't have to come to you. And you can still get the benefit of having an agent who knows you. So that's something else that I think a lot of people don't know about. And it's a new system, and we're really happy to just be launching it. But it's technology is, it's the wave of the future. You don't always have to sit in someone's kitchen to get an insurance plan. So,
well, no matter what I'm doing, I hate having to start all the way back over with a brand new person. No matter what I'm doing, it doesn't matter if I'm calling, for this or that. I want somebody to kind of already know where I'm at instead of having to retell my whole story. But this is my favorite question I get to ask you before I let you
and
go.
I know what it is.
You think all of this, going through all of the plans, being the person that knows you and going through everything, what kind of a price tag comes with somebody that gets to do this for us?
Nothing. You pay nothing. It's $0 to you. And the reason for that, if they're new and haven't seen me on your show before, is the carrier pays us if we sell their plan. So if we meet with somebody and depending on what plan they want to be on, they pick their plan and we advise them, then they pay nothing. They just pay for their plan, or some plans are $0, which is really nice. And then the carriers compensate us to represent and promote their plan. So it's free to you.
Yes, that's why it's my favorite question to ask you, because I love giving out that information. And I'm going to remind everybody how to get a hold of you guys.
Please. And 10 days.
10 days. I know we're getting down to the wire, so now's the time to make that phone call. So Colleen, thank you again for coming in.
You are so welcome.
You guys, once again, Medicare open enrollment ends on December 7th. For more details, just call 745-2300 or visit WeKnowHealthInsurance.com.